Hi everyone, Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another important video update again tonight to round out the weekend. I want to start off by saying a huge, massive, genuine, heartfelt thank you to all the people who've shown tremendous support and appreciation for these videos. It does take quite a bit of time to prepare notes and do these every second or third day as we're doing. So I certainly do appreciate that. Again, unfortunately, I'm not able to answer every personal comment, every personal message, every personal friend request on Facebook. I just can't get to it. But I am really genuinely excited that you're excited about learning about your rights. That is fantastic. I do need to point out though, okay guys, I am not your on-call lawyer. I cannot answer all your questions as and when you send them through. Okay, and look, ultimately, I don't have all the answers. And as I'm about to show you right here now tonight, okay, I've actually got just as many questions as I've got answers. So tonight's video is going to be a little bit different. A lot of you have sent through messages, comments, posts, Facebook Messenger things, comments on our YouTube channel saying that these videos and myself have been able to help you in various ways. So I'm going to throw this back to you guys and I'm going to see if you can possibly help me tonight. Because I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm just not getting something, but I've got a bunch of questions that I just can't seem to answer. Perhaps some of the few thousand trolls that we've got on our Facebook page that keep putting up ridiculous comments, maybe they'd like to offer me some answers. Maybe someone out there can think a little bit differently to me. But some things just don't really add up to me. And maybe you can help. So first and foremost, in Queensland, for example, they've just relaxed the lockdown laws. So now it's safe, apparently, to go out boating, to go out fishing, to go out jet skiing. Now, how is it safe to go boating, fishing, jet skiing in Queensland, but yet it's still not safe to do that, for example, in Victoria? Now, has Section 117 of the Commonwealth Constitution somehow been lawfully suspended because of this claimed authority to declare a pandemic or to declare a state of emergency, okay, despite no more people dying than would have generally died from the flu at the same time? Has the Commonwealth Constitution been lawfully suspended? Okay, some people have suggested that because of the state of emergency, the Commonwealth Constitution has been somehow put on hold maybe. It might supposedly have something to do with the Biosecurity Act of 2015, which, by the way, has no proclamation certificate, okay, and was drafted by a corporate government. But just look, let's put that awkward stuff aside for a moment. Can someone explain to me how this Biosecurity Act of 2015 could somehow override the Commonwealth Constitution, which, as the full name suggests, the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 UK, that being a lawful act of the British Parliament? How can a 2015 act by a corporate government override an act of the British Parliament? I must be stupid. I must be missing something because I just don't get it. Okay? Now, I know the Constitution's old, but does that really matter? Does it not still stand as the highest law in this land? The media, they've been out in force, they've been complaining and writing reports about how people, thank you everyone, have been bombarding ministers with my will letters. And they're complaining that these my will letters are some old process from some old text. But again, just because a text is old or a process is old, does that somehow invalidate it? Again, I must be missing something. Okay, why? Why is it that healthcare and aged care workers, who one would assume being medically trained and who would therefore know a little bit about the flu and perhaps a little bit about COVID-19, and they are vehemently standing against this mandatory flu vax before they can return to work? So why is it that these people are being called out as being, crazy or conspiracy theorists? Remember, they're medically trained. They don't want this flu vax. Yet the media is calling them out and being told, remember, we've been told constantly that this COVID-19 is far worse than the flu. So why is anyone being mandatory forced to get a flu vax if this is far worse than the flu? Again, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't make sense. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but do people not die every day? Do elderly people who've got underlying conditions not die every day? Yeah, of course it's sad, but it happens every day. So who exactly is it that gets to choose which life is important and which life isn't? Who gets to decide whether 1 million people minimum, okay, are allowed to be so significantly disadvantaged that they're forced to join the Centrelink queue and go on the dole, okay, just because less than 100 people have died, who, with all due respect to those people, were probably on their last legs anyway. Who gets to make that decision? And how and under what authority do they get to make that decision? Okay? Why are 1 million people being absolutely negatively affected, all because less than 100 people have died? Okay, why is it that small businesses are being forced to close and the mums and dads who own them will likely lose everything as a result, but big businesses are allowed to stay open when they essentially, in general, have the resources to keep them afloat for a few months, which those small businesses don't? Again, who gets to make that call? Why is it that we're not allowed to go boating, camping or fishing in Victoria, yet BCF, which stands for boating, camping, fishing, okay, and places like Anaconda are still open, and they have been all the way along? But worse still, if we were to get in our car and travel down to one of those stores, we'd likely get pulled over by the police. If we said, oh yeah, we're going down to BCF or Anaconda, we'd be told, oh no, that's non-essential travel. You're going to get slapped with a fine. But these stores are still allowed to open. Why is it that supermarkets and banks still accept cash, but other businesses like JB Hi-Fi and Officeworks are allowed to not only refuse legal tender, which is lawful payment pursuant to the Bills of Exchange Act, let's not forget, but they're not only allowed to refuse legal tender, but they're able to force you to use non-lawful forms of payment. Tap and go, credit cards, none of those are mentioned in the Bills of Exchange Act. So why are they allowed to get away with that? Again, I must be missing something. Oh, now here's an interesting thought. I went down to my local Officeworks today. I had to grab some printing supplies. Now, for the last 2 weeks, they've had big signs everywhere saying, no, you cannot pay cash, must tap and go. Lo and behold, today, you're allowed to pay cash. How does that happen? How is it not safe to pay cash for the last 2 weeks, but now apparently it's okay to pay with cash? I wonder if it's got something to do with the letter that I sent to their head office complaining about that. I wonder if maybe more people should be sending letters to any other businesses that are forcing them not to use cash. Just a thought, just a thought. Anyway, let's move along. Lots more questions still. So why is it that people, here's another one, are allowing non-medically trained people to conduct those temperature checks on them before they go into places like a chemist? Why are they allowed to do that? And what would happen if you registered a high temperature? Are they qualified, are these security guards or whatever, qualified to interpret that high reading? Are they authorised to forbid you entry into the store because you showed a high temperature on a $20 or $30 device that probably has never been properly calibrated? I don't know. I just don't know. Why is ScoMo hell-bent, or was he hell-bent? He's changed his tune a little bit, but why was he hell-bent on no one coming out of lockdown until a vaccine was found? Yet already some states are coming out of lockdown, we just mentioned one of them, Queensland, with no vaccine on the horizon. Was that possibly because people bombarded the PM's office with letters of complaint? And I wonder, should people continue bombarding the PM's office and their own minister's office with these letters of complaint? Would that perhaps speed up the laxing of these lockdown laws? Just a thought. Why is ScoMo pushing so hard for this COVID-safe app if it's so good? If it's so good, surely everyone would just want to get it. Okay, if they were giving away free pizzas or something, everyone would, rush down the store and grab them. So why are they rushing down to get this COVID-safe app if it's so good? Or is it possible, just maybe, that people are starting to wake up and realising that privacy is of absolute vital importance? Now, again, I must be missing something. Dumb Mike again. Can someone please explain to me how this COVID-safe app is going to help people when the most vulnerable people, okay, which are the elderly and those with pre-existing conditions, A, most of them don't actually have smartphones because they're elderly, and B, most of them are not going out and mingling with anybody anyway. So the COVID safe's not going to do anything for them at all because they're not mixing and mingling with people, so it's going to make no difference whatsoever. I'm just not getting it. What is wrong with me? Okay? Oh, and how is it that ScoMo can get away with saying if you want to go to the footy or if you want to go to your pubs and clubs again, you have to have the app? Does Section 51, subsection 23A of the Commonwealth Constitution not clearly dictate there should be no forms of civil subscription? No form of civil subscription or conscription. Okay? Forcing you to get an app to be able to go about your daily life, wouldn't that be a form of civil conscription? Again, I don't get it. Okay, why are people being chastised for going out whilst ensuring that they're 100% socially distanced, going out and protesting these unlawful lockdown laws and these clear breaches of our rights and freedoms, that's 100% causing them loss and suffering, but the police are allowed to stand bunched together closer than 1.5 metres to each other, no masks on or anything like that? How is that allowed to happen? Okay? Is it possible that the government, the so-called government and their enforcers, employers and other businesses are able to get away with most of what I've questioned tonight because people allow them to get away with it because they simply don't know their rights? Okay, that is the tagline, okay, to our whole message at the Know Your Rights group. Those who don't know their rights have none. We've had our rights and our freedoms eroded before our very noses, and what's worse still is there's plenty of people just handing them over willy-nilly without a second thought. And that's what's really scary to me. So these are my concerns, these are my questions. Please feel free to put some comments in this post and answer some of these questions for me. Let me know what I'm missing, let me know what I'm not getting, because obviously something's up. Now my final question, okay, is why do people keep asking where to buy our books from when I put the description to the websites in these videos? Okay, now I put the links to the websites because I want people to go to the websites, I want people to access all the free information. I don't give everybody the specific links because then I'd be accused of, oh, you're just standing here just trying to sell books, that's all you're on about. No, I'm here to get people to think. I'm here to get people to ask questions. I'm here to get people to use their brains and stop buying into the ridiculous government propaganda. Now, if you go to those websites and you have a look around, you will find the links to these various books. And yes, there are some more answers there for you. There are tons of answers. Okay, there's tons of really great information in these books. Okay, so if you want the links, here they are. The Know Your Rights book, you can find it knowyourrightsgroup.com.au/our-e-book. Okay, if you want the Bank Secrets Revealed book, that website is banksecretsrevealed.com.au/hard-copy-book. Okay, and if you want the Aussie Speeding Fines book, just go to aussiespeedingfines.com. Their link is too difficult to explain, but just look under the ebook memberships and you'll find the link to their book. Okay, but please, before you do anything else, just look at all the completely free information on those websites. Get your head around those first. Then if you, like me, have got some other questions that you want answers to, then by all means have a look at those books because there's tons of answers in there. But guys, girls, anyone out there watching this, if you can help me out with the answers to some of these questions, some of the things I'm clearly missing, shoot the comments in. That'd be great. Otherwise, we've got a fantastic radio show lined up on Tuesday night. We've got a very special guest speaker who will be announcing to everybody on tomorrow evening's email updates. If you don't get our emails, make sure you subscribe for those. We'll be popping it on our Facebook channel as well. So hope you've all had a great week. As always, take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you on our radio show live on Tuesday night. Thank you.